as if there is no friction in price.
Why cold approach is so difficult and why there is such a turnover with guys that get into it. They fail, they quit, and in reality there's not too many guys that actually do cold approach. There's guys that try it for a short period of time, they get into it, they put in a bit of effort, and they quit. I would say the turnover of guys that get into learning cold approach, Daygame, even I would say the night guys that get into night game, hitting the clubs and trying to find love in the nightclubs. That has a higher retention rate, I would say, because those guys, they can compensate with alcohol and drugs, and there's other reasons to keep them doing it, regardless of what their success rate is. Obviously, the highest success rate is swiping right on dating apps, because anybody can do that. But cold approach during the daytime, or just cold approach in general, it is complicated. And the most common thing that I hear from guys is, I just need to approach more and I will figure it out. Sure, you might get lucky, sure, but this cold approach is far more complicated and far more difficult than you could ever imagine. There's guys that have been doing it for many years just to get to an intermediate level, and there's a lot of guys that have been doing it. They've done a lot of training and coaching, but they've ran down the wrong rabbit hole of different strategies, and they've never got the success that they desired, because they were doing the wrong thing over time and they didn't learn from their mistakes. They didn't have the right people around them. It's quite common, but keep in mind, there is a caveat here, is that if you just think, oh, I'll just do more approaches and I'll get success, well, then what you're technically doing is you're probably more attractive than the girls that you are meeting. Sorry, I got hair in my mouth. You're probably a lot more higher value than the girls that you were dating. So therefore, really, you're getting girls beneath your mate value, girls that really they're not the type of girls that you're dating and you just think, oh my god, this is the girl, this is love, this is the girl that I'm going to settle down with, have some kids, and I'm going to spend my life with, because you're kind of punching down. People see this as more of an ego trip, where you're punching down. So this is like a competitive thing amongst men. It's not really. The goal is for you to get a girl that is out of your league, that is, either out of that 6-year age range. She's like a decade younger than you. She's like more attractive than you, so that you will want to marry her. Keep in mind, men are the ones that decide on long-term relationships, not women. Women gatekeep sex in the early stages and who they date in the early stages, and we're the ones that decide who we're going to marry and settle down with and get serious with. And so if you're punching down and getting girls that, well, any fool can get just by approaching because they're beneath you, they're not exactly the type of girl that has that wow factor for you based on where you're at. Cold approach gives you access to the wow factor girls that are way out of your league. They're over a decade younger than you, they're more attractive than you, they're sometimes smarter and more socially aware than you. The type of girl that you just start dating and you just think, wow, I have never met a girl like this before. She's awesome. I'm going to work really hard on building a relationship with her. And if I get a chance, I'm going to lock her in on a long-term relationship. And this is also part of the aspect of why... Aspect? part of the reason why a lot of people get the whole idea about cold approach and dating wrong is they think that we're out here just banging lots of one night stands. We're not. We're looking for legitimate love. We're looking for the one. We're looking for a girl so out of our league, not so that we can compete with other men like all those losers in the group chats. We're getting a girl that's out of our league so that she has that wow factor. So we wake up in the morning next to her and go, wow, I'm so lucky to have her. I'm going to lock her in. I'm going to build something with this one. This is the one. But if you're punching down, this is the Tuesday night one night stand girl that you're not going to build anything serious with, then, well, you're going to be trapped in the Tuesday night one night stand with the girl that is beneath your mate value, and you'll probably be struggling forever. So ultimately, getting the hottest possible girl and the highest value girl that you possibly can as soon as possible and locking her in is better for everybody involved and society. So think about it from that point of view. Cold approach, it's not just about doing more approaches. It isn't. It's not a numbers game either. There's strategies involved. It's complex. You can't just ask me, what's your opener, Dave? You know how many times I hear that? Come do some coaching. It is far more complex than what is the opener. It's how are you positioned? How are you approaching? Where are you approaching her? What about your timing? Are you coming off awkward? What about your body language? What is your strategy when you approach her? Like, even just down to the smallest aspect of it, like are you getting her Instagram or her phone number? Are you messaging her on WhatsApp? Are you using an app? Just minor things. What is the first text message that you are sending her, and what is the time between approach, getting her contact information, and sending that first text message, and what is it that you send, and what is your strategy for the first date, and when should you line up the first date? All of these things are quite complex, and people don't fully realize that. So the point I'm trying to make is that the reason why there's such a high turnover with guys that get into cold approach is because they think that they can figure it out. They have, basically there's a few different things that they constantly say. One is, I just need some wings because, well, I can't approach by myself. I need a buddy to hold my hand, which is kind of it. Second one is, I'll figure it out myself. I just need to approach more. So it's basically the same thing. I just need to put myself in front of girls and then magic will happen. It's like me saying, look, just put me in front of the exam for the PhD. I'll write my thesis on the first attempt and you can give me a PhD. It is not that easy. There's a reason why there are coaches out there, and there's a reason why there's guys double your age that are shorter, uglier, less attractive than you, disabled, poor, living in squalid conditions and still getting better girls than you. It's because they have a PhD in this stuff, like myself. I just wanted to make that point because, not in a bad way, I just think that too many guys think that they can figure it out by themselves, and I think the churn rate is high enough. It's enough evidence that you can't just figure it out yourself. I don't think you can figure it out yourself. Don't get me wrong, there are guys that can, and there are guys that have. Myself and a bunch of my wings have, and they've been very successful, but the shortcut is to get some form of coaching. That means you're gonna have to outlay some money, and if you've run down the gauntlet of trying to figure this out yourself and you haven't had much success, and it's been a few years, you've been in the groups, you've met up with wings, they've told you things, you've tried those things, ask yourself, have those things worked? Have you got the success that you desire? Have you dated any decent girls, let's just say in the last 3 months? If it's not 3 months, how long are you supposed to wait? how many months do you have to wait until you find or at least date someone on your level that you want to actually get into a relationship with? Yeah, there's just a few things that I wanted to point out, just because every now and then I read in the comments guys going, yeah, I just need to figure this out. I got this. You read in the comments of these YouTube videos, there's a whole bunch of guys with their male egos giving advice. It's like, there's not a lot of guys in the comments asking questions and being humble. There's a lot of guys in the comments telling you how it is from their point of view. They got it. They know what's what. And majority of them don't, you know. It's not actually that easy to learn cold approach. So, and dating is far more complex than you might think. And ultimately, what are you trying to do? Find a girl that every time you are around her, you just feel lucky to be with her. The type of girl that you're not like, you don't walk down to the shops or go out to a restaurant with her and you see another girl that is beautiful and you just think, oh, I wish I was with that one. Or you go out in public and you just think, oh, I hope my friends don't see me with her. And all of us have felt that at some time in our lives, and you just don't have those the options at the moment, and that's why you are with the girl that you are with. Oh, she's older than you, or she's, you're kind of embarrassed to be around her. So think about from that point of view. It would be much better if you found a girl that you were proud to be around, and that you would be extremely disappointed if you lost her, and one that you want to build your life around. And I get it, marriage is dangerous these days, but sometimes, us men, especially in the West, we're trapped in a situation where it's what do? We just remain single forever? Yeah, it's a difficult situation, but that discussion is for another video. I'm just talking about trying to find the highest quality mate that you can, so that you can at least plan ahead. I'll see you guys in the next video.